All right, so it's no longer a hypothetical, you guys. Pierre Poilievre is coming back to parliament after losing his own riding in the last election. Newly re-elected Conservative MP Damien Kurek has given up his seat in Battle River Crowfoot. Battle River Crowfoot is deep in the blue wall of Alberta. It is a slam dunk. Even Pierre Poilievre cannot possibly lose that riding. Imagine if he did, though. Imagine if these people in Battle River Crowfoot are basically like, yeah, we won't see that guy ever. So, which probably isn't that far from the truth, right? Imagine if they vote for someone else for that reason. Oh, I think the memes that would come from that could feed generations. It could feed generations. Not gonna lie, it would be funny, but I don't think Pierre Poilievre will actually lose. It's a slam dunk. Like I'm just yanking your chain a little bit. Look, I already told you guys, I don't like this idea of parachuting Pierre Poilievre into a riding just so he retains the leadership of the Conservative Party. I agree. He has been a good leader for the Conservative Party. They won a lot of votes in the last election. Any other election, and it might have been Pierre Poilievre forming government, I think it is wild that he still lost, having won enough votes to form a majority in basically any other election. Now, that said, I think it makes a mockery of our democracy. This was exactly what the Liberals did when they dismissed Chandra Iyer so McCartney could run in Nepean. I wonder if McCartney had actually ever been to Nepean before he got announced as their MP. Now, I say this to make a broader point. Part of the job of the members of parliament in this country is to represent the interests of their constituents in parliament. MPs are elected by their communities, meaning they carry the responsibility of voicing local issues and aspirations in the House of Commons. They should be the link between the citizens and the government. Here's how they know what their people actually want. I can tell you it's not by sending snail mail between Ottawa and their riding. Ideally, they should have boots on the ground, actually listening to people. It should not be a fucking long distance relationship, you know? It should not be a fucking long distance relationship. Here's why this annoys me. We know Poilievre isn't stepping foot in Battle River Crowfoot. It will be interesting to see if Poilievre can actually point to Battle River Crowfoot on a map. Same with McCartney for that matter. I wonder if McCartney actually goes to Nepean once in the next 4 years. Like, he probably said bye Felicia the moment he won that election. Believe that. So increasingly, these elections are more and more about representing their parties in parliament. It is an absolute joke. It is a joke, right? They're there to represent the interests of their parties in parliament. Not enough of that is about representing the people who actually voted for them. But hey, at least we have the debates in the House of Commons to keep us entertained. Once in a while, the question period is actually must-see TV. I watch it sometimes. I think Poilievre had a few interesting moments going up against Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh in the House of Commons. Most of the time, though, it is just useless back and forth with a lot of MPs taking turns to say absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I can't believe they get paid 200 grand to do that. I feel like I'm in the wrong career sometimes, you know. Anyways, McCartney actually got asked about whether he'd call a by-election soon to allow Poilievre to get back into parliament. He can choose to call an election right away, or he can make Poilievre wait till November to trigger a by-election if he wants. Here's what McCartney actually said he'll do. Watch.
I've already indicated to Mr. Poilievre that if it's the decision of him and the Conservative Party to trigger, if I can put it that way, a by-election, I will ensure that it happens as soon as possible. Okay. No games, nothing, straight.
So, Prime Minister Carney says he'll call a by-election as soon as the Conservatives are ready. No games, he says. Do you actually believe him? Do you think McCartney will actually follow through? Now, to be fair, and I like to do that on this channel, I like to be fair to both sides, I think McCartney does follow through. I think he will give Poilievre a quick path back to parliament, unless of course something unforeseen happens. The other thing I'll say is I can't guarantee there won't be games. I still have my suspicions about how 91 people ended up on the ballot in Pierre Poilievre's Carleton riding. I wonder if that was common across this country. I don't know if there was any other riding with 91 people on the ballot. I know Nepean didn't have 91 people on the ballot when McCartney contested there. I wonder if we will suddenly find out that there are 100 people looking to become the MP of Battle River Crowfoot all of a sudden, right? Now, to be fair, McCartney does seem to be extending an olive branch. He probably will give Pierre Poilievre an early election with no games. In his first speech after becoming Prime Minister, It was interesting to see him take parts of Pierre Poilievre's platform and incorporate them into the key objectives for his term. Listen to what he says here.
We will toughen the criminal code and bail laws for those threatening the safety of Canadians, including making bail harder to get for those charged with stealing cars, with home invasion, human trafficking, and smuggling.
Now, I don't know about you. I think this is a good sign. Poilievre clearly doesn't have use for those ideas anymore, but it is an acknowledgement that there were good ideas on the other side. They say they will toughen up the criminal code and make bail harder to get. I love that. Poilievre used to call that the liberal catch and release policy. Apparently, Carney is incorporating that into his objectives. This is a good thing. I like this from Carney. I also like that he said he will not seek to form a coalition with the NDP or the Bloc in order to have a majority. He basically implied that his party will seek support on a vote-by-vote basis. It will be interesting to see how long that lasts. But I can be honest here. I will give Carney the credit that he is due for the fact that he is trying to bring people together. Possibly the only person that is still invested in fighting right now is Danielle Smith. There's a lot of fighting words coming out of Alberta right now. This week, they lowered the threshold for triggering a referendum. I wonder what it will take for Carney to actually make peace with Western Canada, especially Alberta, really. It's going to be an intense 4 years, I think. Yeah, you can just tell, right, with the way it started with Alberta. But I wish with all my heart, as I've said before, I wish that Carney succeeds in getting this country back on track. Contrary to what a lot of my conservative friends like to think, I do not think this country is finished. I'm excited about the future of this country. Hopefully that future includes affordable homes and salaries that go very far. Speaking of going very far, if you've watched the video this long, please help your boy out, okay? Subscribe to the channel and join the conversation in the comment section. I appreciate you. See you next time. Take care, guys.